Hi everyone, good evening. This is Anna Ng, founder of Centric Property. Okay, few days ago my birthday just ended, and then my dad was here with me. He came on the 3rd, I think. Okay, my birthday is on the 2nd, so he came to my house for dinner, and I really appreciate that. So I made a lot of food, and then afterwards, which I took out the Chinese wine, 美人醉, which I bought from Shanghai some time ago. Okay, I think wine can keep a long time, right? So yeah, so I say, hey, Dad, let's drink some wine. Then he says, no. Next day I must go to the hospital for a checkup, so I cannot drink wine. He told me, forgive me, no makeup. Okay, all but cut off. So yeah, so if you can hear me, let me know. Forgive me, no makeup. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. So if you're here, please do say hi or hello, okay? Okay. Some things we shouldn't really give up if we love it a lot, like real estate. I was feeling kind of blue, I was feeling kind of blue. And then I told my friend and brother in this business, okay, I know him since I think was 20, my second child, I think it was 2012, Chris. So 2012 until now is 多少年啊？21减掉12，9年哦。Almost a friends for a decade already. Even though the first time I saw him in Osville, he was somebody else's boyfriend. Very husband boyfriend material. Okay. So even though I knew him back then, we hardly spoke. But we got closer after we came to ERA. And I came to ERA in 2017, I think. 2016, 2020, I think it's 2017. Okay, so I was with HSR since 2006. So if you're an RES, maybe you will hear from this auntie, Auntie Anna, that what happened in 2006 when I joined real estate, right? I really don't know what to do. There wasn't much mentors around, there wasn't anybody teaching much, willing to teach. There wasn't a lot of trainers. In fact, every agency you go to, they will assure you that there's courses, there's trainings. But the truth is, after you paid your few $100 to join them, right? In those days, we have to pay a 入门费, like 你插插那种党会这样 you have to give a amount like membership fee, all right? So I remember when I joined real estate HSR, I think I paid around 200 plus. Then you get some name cards and stuff and a lanyard, right? And there wasn't any exams or tests to go for. And then all you need to do is to fill up a very simple kind of application form that requires probably 1 or 2 signatures, not like today. And then, of course, a lot of terms on the contract, we don't even know what we sign for. We just sign our life away. My first impression of HSR when I went there last time in Toa Payoh, I remember that it was on top of this KFC. You have to climb to the 2nd floor at Toa Payoh Hub, on top of that KFC at Toa Payoh Hub, right? So when I went in, I was very shocked because I came from banking background. I went into the office. I don't see any laptops around. There's no laptops, there's no nothing, but there's a lot of telephones on the tables. There's telephones and telephones and telephones, okay? But later I realized not all the telephones are working, okay? So 想当年啊, when we just joined, right? 懵懵懂懂啊. So of course, I don't know about not the new RES, how they are faring right now, but when we joined those days, my manager said, hey, 你跟我的老板说 you came from DWG or some other company, then you get a higher range of commission. Those days are 懵懵懂懂, okay lor, you say it's good, then okay lor. That kind of thing. So easy going 就签了哈, okay, 就这样 join 了 real estate. And what I remembered was my friend told me, 你这样比你进来 real estate 你一定赚到钱的。So 我就问他是不是很多钱 She said yes. And so I jumped from the banks. I was doing car loans, refinancing, auto loans, all that. I was also prior to that. So prior to that, I was also doing investments and stuff like RM at the branch in Tampines 800多号那边。Okay, so 想当年啊，满怀信心的 join 了 real estate，以为说，诶，很像很容易赚钱啊。他跟我讲 very easily you will make money, so very easily 啦，she said, my manager. So I followed her, and who knows, 3 months, 6 months into the trade, right? I wiped out all my savings. Okay, whatever few $1,000s I had that time, few $1,000s savings all wiped out, and it's all wiped out on advertisements, printing of flyers, okay, printing of letterheads, okay, printing of flyers, letterheads, and paying the farmers to farm for us on all that. Feeling devastated. I remember I had a quarrel with my manager back then. She wanted us to partner another agent. And the other agent was saying, oh, then we should throw another advertisement out to look for farmers. And really, I was very pissed off. I was saying, huh? 已经花了这样多钱，看不到 leads or anything, then 还要再花钱，还要再花钱, you know? Because coming from a being employed kind of background, every month, so long as you work hard, you will see your money coming in from the payroll, correct? Your bank account, you'll see that money. But what I failed to understand the initial part was real estate is a business. It's not so much of a job. It's a business. It's a career. And so I was like thinking, 他妈的 you know, 丢到手软了，没有钱吃饭了，搭车都成问题了，肚子都饿了， you know, it's like bills are coming, and I still don't see anything yet 6 months down the road, you know. I was feeling really, really angry. And then she was telling me throw in more money some more. Okay. That's her way of handling cases or trying to churn out leads those days. Okay. But what I saw on the flip side was there's many other agents making phone calls on cold calling. And cold calling was really one of my forte. Okay. Because when I work in the banks, my forte is cold calling. Okay. So I said, why are we not cold calling like the rest? Huh? There's so many phone calls, phones around, you know. 为什么我们不要打电话？为什么我们要做这些一直丢钱的东西？ You know, 一直丢，丢到无底洞了，丢到好像破产了，怎么办？ You know. And those days, I remember I started out without a car. I have no car. I have no license. Okay, 2006. And then we had that quarrel that which I couldn't see eyeball to eyeball with her on certain things. And so I departed and said goodbye to her. I said, I'm not going to work with you anymore. Okay, I'm going to be on my own. So I was very stubborn. I started to print out all the leads from info tools and everything. And then I started my cold calling. I was calling like mad. Because my idea was, okay, I will make my phone calls. Then I will reach out to the customer. And then I will fix appointment. Okay, I'll fix appointment. Then I'll just go down and bang the walls. I don't care, just bang. So I did. I made my phone calls. I made a lot of phone calls from morning to night. Very, very diligent. Okay, because 没有钱了，你就很扁嘛，对吗？ Then yeah, so 因为你不想死嘛，对啊，你不想说没有钱嘛，对啊， so 很扁咯。So okay, so I called, and then I made my phone call, and then I was very lucky. I managed to make some appointments. Okay, lucky or not, maybe 真的是 yeah lah, my skill was good lah. Okay, so make appointments, and then there was one old agent. He kept looking at me. Then he said, 哎，你是 telemarketer 啊？ Then 我讲不是，我是 agent， 你不要吵我，我在打电话。哎，你是不是 telemarketer？ 然后我就跟他讲，我不是 telemarketer， 你不要一直烦我。Then he said, 哎，那天我看你跟他吵架，那个是不是你的 downline？ Then I said, 什么是 downline？ Downline 就是你的下属啦，你骂到他狗血淋头那个。Then I said, no， 那个是我的 upline。Because I was like so angry and desperate already. Scold her outside down. I said, all you can think of is throw money after throw money after throw money. You never spare a thought for me. I'm a new agent. I wiped out all my savings and blah, 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 blah. And now you still want to spend more money and I still don't see anything coming back from there. Not a single lead, not a single exclusive. Okay, so yeah, very funny. So I didn't expect that this conversation later led on to something else. This old agent was very cute. So guy, so he said 哇，你敢骂你的 manager 啊？你很勇敢哦。Then I said, what to do? I'm desperate already. I already come in and then so many months, there's no income, then keep spending money. You know, you see your bank account really zero rise. What we call zero rise 是到零 in the banks. So 怎么办呢？怎么办？ Then he said, 哈，你这样惨啊？OK， 你打电话 then next step 你怎样了 Then I said, oh, then now I got appointment already. Then he said, okay, then you got appointment, what next you want to do? I said, of course I want to go down and get exclusive lor. Then he said, you got experience selling any house or not? I said, no, I haven't sold any house yet. I'm new ma, I told you I'm new. Then he said, 你这样新哦 then 你下去 then customer 问你问题你怎样回答 I said 我不懂 then I just see what they want to ask then I see after that I'll try lor. Then he said no then he showed me his Bible. Okay, I was very lucky. Okay, I transferred from this agent. He showed me his Bible. It was a Bible of portfolio consisting of the portfolio and his listing presentation and also transactions. And he told me 我不是你的 manager but 我看你很惨哦，帮你一把。His name was Victor. Okay, 我帮你一把。And he said to show me everything and then he said okay now you go and churn out something similar. Okay, you go and print then you take the photocopy card, you take your own photocopy card, you go and, because those days we still have to buy our own photocopy card. Like I said, it's our own business. So okay, then you got to go and print out all these things. You got to show the customer the transactions. You got to let them know, okay, currently what's the calling. And in those days, we don't even have things such as SRX 99 or Guru yet. You know, we don't have all that. So everything we want to find out is really on internet for the HDB records, or it'll be newspapers or phone calls. Okay, there isn't any other information to find out. Or okay, there was another one I can't remember. Is it Power Search? Power Search. Okay, Power Search. That was another one we need to print out. So without Power Search, we are nothing. We cannot find out the transactions even. Okay, so so he said, okay, after that, you show me how you're going to talk to customer. Then I said, I think I can. With all this, I think I can. Then he said, you sure you can? You must know the procedure. You must know the timeline. You must know the transaction. You must know all this. So yeah, so I went. Then that time I got another partner. Okay, so we were both very new agents. We managed to get the exclusive. We managed to. Customers were happy. Okay. Then but being new agents, we got the exclusive. We were unable to close the deal. We don't know how to convince or persuade or say condition or educate the customer. We don't know. We just take the exclusive but cannot close. So it happened a few rounds. Okay, it happened a few rounds. I can tell you it's very painful. It's very painful because 就很像到了嘴边的肉你是吃不到的，你看得到但是你吃不到，就是 you'll be running up and down 一直跑 viewing， 但是你就是 close 不到，而且你也不知道 what went wrong， 你也不会看那个 customer 的脸色，你也不懂 what happened 这样子，就是一直 show， 很像 tour guide 这样，一直 show， 直到后来我的大老板看到他就说，你们这样哦很惨，我丢多一个 exclusive 给你们，你去 talk to 那个 customer， then 你们尽量去拿。So we also secured the exclusive. In fact, we secured quite a few exclusive thanks to presentation skills from the banks. Okay, so thanks to presentation skills from the banks. So my presentation, I feel, is pretty strong. So what happened was, 我们有拿到 but again, not so easy to close. Not so easy to close. I think I was, eventually, he decided that maybe it wasn't a good mix for me and that partner that I had. So he said, you know what? 我帮你放给另外一个 agent， 另外一个 producer， 你跟他一起做，你跟他学着做，他一个月赚500，他一年赚500千，因为你跟他学着做。So yes, so I partner that lady. And afterwards, which Within 3 months, I closed something. I closed my first deal at Raffles. Okay. The review my customer gave me was 你很快，很多agent 找我，但是都找不到，只有你找到我，所以我就给你做，我也没有找别人，我没有跟你签 exclusive， 但是我没有找别人，就是给你卖，而且你帮我达到我要的价钱，所以你很快，我就很喜欢。Okay, so that was my breakthrough. I broke the first 8. I think that was like, I can't remember. I think that's like 6 months. I think 6 months or so. I think 是 around there 啦 6 months or so. I think, yeah, around there 啦。那个时候大概6个月，我就看到那个 breakthrough. 那个时候 I was running concurrently with insurance. Those days there's no CEA, so concurrently insurance, concurrently real estate. In 6 months' time, I saw my breakthrough. I closed something, and it's a condo 2 bedrooms in Raffles, Bishan. So I was really very happy. So from then on, I gained more confidence from there. The other case that came along, that caused my other breakthrough. Okay, so interim, I managed after that one case, I realized that 是我跑出来的，我就没有再跟那个人 partner。我们 split 了那个 comms 之后啊，我没有再跟他 partner 了。Okay, so then I was on my own already. I find myself still very lacking. So in 2008, I was lucky to have met this trainer, Donna. And Donna is a phenomenal trainer to me. Because 怎样讲呢？ I never see any trainer who's so passionate about teaching. I never see any trainer who's so willing to give it all he's got. He's walking up and down in a very fast mode. And you can see that he's not that very young anymore, but he walks with a lot of energy. He walks the talk and he cares about us. And then I went for one of his course. I remember the initial course I went under him that time, I felt the pinch, because as a new agent those days, we didn't earn much money yet. And then his course was $200+ for like, I can't remember, 3 days course, 3 days or 1 day course, can't remember. So to me, it was like, 这样贵啊 200多块嘞，又还没有 close 很多还是什么。Then after that, but I'm really glad I paid that money. I'm really glad I paid that money to go for such an expensive course to me that time. Because after 那个 course I felt like 我找到了人生的希望。Because, okay, why from 06 until 08? Didn't close much deal, but still persist on is because in the poly first year, we learned about microeconomics, and we learned a bit about business. And then under the business studies, it told us that, if you start a business, be willing to wait out 2 years to see a breakthrough, to see a break even. Okay, so it's very normal if you go into any business, you have to wait out a two-year period or so to see a break even. And so I held on, because later I realized, after I joined real estate, it is not a job, it is a business. And so I held on for 2 years. I would say 是很痛苦的. As I compared the days I was working in the bank, I feel like a Tweety bird in a golden cage with a soft pillow. But in real estate, 真的是感觉是那种日晒雨淋的惨，敲门也有啦，打鼓也有啦，什么都有，什么都做尽了，然后下雨就淋雨啦， that kind of thing. So 你会觉得说，哇，真的是很不一样。有时候真的很想不要做了啦。有时候觉得说为什么这样惨，这样有没有？那个时候 ，but after 去了 Donald 的 course of $200+, then he said he got another course. The other course is about $6,000 over in 2008. 2008. Okay, 2 years plus into the business, I did close some deals, but it was not phenomenal yet. It wasn't big yet. And then and then 要去上一个6000多块的 course， 哇，我可以跟你讲，你跟我，诶，你如果了解我 ，if you know me, right, you know I came from a very poor background. $6,000 to me is 根本是有一点像天方夜谭的价钱，有一点像是 a very big figure to me, But the lucky thing was Donald said, you all come for the course first. It's a period of 60 days. 60 days, you have to do whatever I ask you to do. You have to come in every day. 9 o'clock sharp, you come in. I can tell you, Mondays to Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays is all included. From 9, we chiong all the way until 10:30, 11 every day. We see our 同志, our friends in that gang, right? Susan, Stella, Warren, Irene. We saw each other. There were 20 plus of us. These are the close ones. Patricia, these are the close ones that I'm with. We see each other day in and day out until 好像自己的 family 这样。Morning 9 o'clock come to office. 晚上回家的时候已经11、2点 that kind of shit. Okay, so just come in to do the whatever is required. And to know that actually that time, this particular 60 days course actually hit into my wedding date. You know, 女人结婚 wedding, my ROM is 2005. My husband saved up 3 years for me. Okay. I wasn't able to save up much. He's the one really saving so much for me. Okay. To deliver the promise to me that, by 08年我们摆酒 08年我们 had our wedding. 我还记得我的 wedding 是6月13号. Donna, the course was smack right inside. And I remembered my course-mates were telling me, Anna, 你 sure 你要跟我们一起冲这个60天吗? Because 60 days 里面 smack right into your wedding. You wedding bride, you're the bride, 你是主角, you don't need to prepare one man like manicure lah, pedicure lah, facial, whatever shit thing. Usually the brides will take 1 week at least to do all this. I told my course-mates that, you know what? I think I need Donna more than anything in the world right now at this point in my life. The wedding 是照样还是会办的，但是这个 course 是前所未有的，而且这个 course 可能不懂几时还会再回来吗？ You know what I mean? Okay, 60 days Donna is going to spend with us, and it's really, really 很难得So I did. I chiong, and until I think like the day before my wedding and the wedding day itself, I didn't appear. I asked for leave from Donna. But the rest of the other days, I was there. 感谢主有去那个 course. After that course, right? Yeah, I saw my breakthrough after that. So what happened was after that course of $6,000, we didn't have to pay immediately. But for the next 1 to 2 years, or no matter how long you're with HSR, okay, they will cut your commissions until they clock up the 6,000 to be deducted off from you. I would say, 这个6000块花得很值得. Okay, because I got like many times over, and I was able to pay back this $6,000. And it was also because of this precious course that I see my life changing. I managed to close cases, and I managed to have a turnaround. So in fact, when I left the banks, I still do not have a driving license. I remember when I joined real estate in 2006, I still do not have a driving license. But slowly in real estate, right, as I closed some cases along the way, I went to take up my driving license. And then I remember in 2008, I got my first car, a Honda Fit, pink color, brand new. Okay, in case you don't know, Honda Fit is a parallel import, so you can overtrade. Yeah, overtrade, yeah. Is it called overtrade? If I'm not wrong, means your loan can be higher than the original LTV for direct. that if you buy it direct from Honda itself. Okay, so the parallel import is like that those days. Okay, so so that made things a bit easier for me. My first car cost me about $54,800, 54,800块. Okay, so with that pink car, that helped me to close off many other cases as well. That was an investment well spent. Okay, the breakthrough came after Donald's course, truthfully. Okay, the breakthrough, I saw myself closing smoothly. And then afterwards, the other breakthrough was because me and my manager that time, I changed a manager. So the old guy, Victor, became my manager. And then Victor and I served one particular couple with 3 dogs. Okay. Sorry. 3 dogs and 3 puppies. They were a very, they are still around. They are a very warm-hearted couple who love dogs. Okay. They don't have children, but they have 3 dogs. And then I must thank the customer, because when I was doing the financial calculations for the customer those days, we were mostly focused on sales of their property. So to me, doing financial calculation for customer, right, these are just figures to me. It doesn't give me any sense. You know what I mean? Those days when you first started working, doing the financial calculation, okay, this is how much will go back to the CPF, how many days you get, and then how many days you get see them there, and then this is how much cash you'll be having in your hand, and then you can use it for the next house. I didn't think much of it, you know, but I did see that, hey, after I help this customer sell off their property, they get a lot of cash. Okay, what I'm saying is, if I didn't remember wrongly, they're getting back cash in terms of like 6 figures. Okay, 6 figures cash proceeds from HDB. And then I said, okay, so sir, after selling, what's your intention? Where do you intend to move to? So he said, I'll be moving to a 3-room flat time being for rental. And then I intend to invest in a condo. But me and my wife got it sorted out. So we are going to buy from another agent. So, okay, no choice. Okay. But what I saw was that, then I asked him, so you are going ahead to buy the condo, and then how much was the condo? So he was telling me, like, you know, 700,000-800,000, that kind of thing, in near Loyang area, okay, for Raria Park or something. So I said, okay, wow. Then I didn't see it coming, but then he told me, you know, Anna, actually, don't worry about me. He said, don't worry about me that I don't have enough money. Actually, this is not the first HDB I transacted already. Remember I told you before, when your sell off my HDB, previously I had other properties and then I transacted. And that's how I roll and earn my money from there. Okay. I thank this customer for what he has said to me. You know, many times our customers touch us in different ways. For him, his Midas touch to me is, he told me that he made his money from property and he rolled the money from one property to another property and snowball it up along the way. Okay. So I think to myself, I just sold his property and then he's able to buy another property so soon. And then he was telling me about his loans and stuff. And so then I sat down again. Then I started to calculate. 真的他可以每一次他赚都是 6 figures 的 cash. Okay, and then his CPF came back. So I thought, then he told me, you know what, because the faster I roll, so the more I will get. So I don't waste time. If the time is right, there's no penalty, I'll just take and move. And so I was like thinking, yeah, then he said, I already can retire already, you know, that's what he told me. I already can retire. I remember that very well. And then I was like, wow, 他很聪明耶. I told my 师傅, my mentor, I said, Victor 他很聪明耶, 他这样做，他 roll. 中文你没有跟我讲。Then Victor said, now you learn, can roll. And so after that, not just him, I managed to conclude a few more deals for my other customers in Punggol and Sengkang. And then, of course, I witnessed that I helped them make few hundred thousand more cash. And then 我就在想, I also stay in Punggol, I also stay in Punggol. I also have a 5-room flat, Then maybe it's really possible for me to apply what I learned to my own scenario, isn't it? Okay, being a very new agent that time. So I sat down with my husband and then we started to calculate. Luckily, my husband is a banker, so he's more into the dollars than me. Okay, so he sat down with me and then we really calculate, 我们要怎样去做这个东西 like, that time our house was just 5 years old and that HDB is on the second floor, block 176D. And then I said, dear, now the HDB prices are soaring there, and now it's actually like a bull run like that, it's transacting damn fast, a lot of COV and blah 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 blah. I just transacted a few blocks away, 都是赚这样多的钱。And my husband was saying, 哎呀，对咯， then 你觉得我们的屋子可以卖多少？ But because ours was on the second floor, so I said, 哇。Those that I sold 都是8楼以上嘞， then 我们的是 second floor 机会可能比较少一点 but still we can try. Then I told him, but one thing is because we're on the second floor and the highest in that whole block is 18th floor. So 我们的机会是最后的那个 the last choice for our buyers usually. So I was telling him, we try, but I did tell him that, if it doesn't work out, because that time we were having problems with our neighbors who were not very friendly to us. In fact, they were very hostile. And then things were so bad that we have to call in police for help, Can you imagine? So those stories that you hear on Facebook, on YouTube that, Punggol residents or Sengkang residents, they fight, right? Their neighbors. It's true, because my neighbor really did that to me. And that was so scary. That time I just, when we decide to sell our house, right, 2010, I just gave birth to my first daughter. And my first daughter is just a few weeks old, few weeks or few months old. So then 那个时候 we sat down, we work out. And so I told my husband safely, right, after we sell our house, everything, blah, 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 我们真的赚，真的有. So I told him that we can, either we upgrade or we downgrade, up to you. But I just want to move out here because I don't like that neighbor that much, And I don't think it's safe to stay near them. Okay, police even came. Okay, so we put up our property for sale, and then yes, then I got a very good price for our property within 6 days. Quickly, I sell already, and then I sold my property already. I quickly brought my husband to see the houses. Okay, on a very fast schedule basis, means because we really are rushing with time, so 我们就 cramp up 我们的 schedule, 我们的 timing, everything. So I think we view a total of 8 or 9 houses. My initial was I told my husband to play on the safe side, right? We should get a house about maybe 700,000 because our HDB was only sold for 400 over thousand, right? So don't make it a very big stretch, otherwise 等一下我们很辛苦. But my husband was more, can I say braver than me that time? He said, no, now we're very young. We will definitely make it. So he said, never mind, we'll stretch to the max. And so instead of a 700 plus thousand house, right, that time I was 30 years old, we bought a house that's like 935,000. Our HDB, when we bought it, the first HDB was 187,000. After we sold it at 400 plus thousand, we bought a condo at 935,000. That time, me, and my daughter, 1 year old, not even 1 year old. So to me, right, I was really scared because I was like thinking, wow, shit, 900,000, can we really make it? But after we work out the sums, everything, right? Because when you think about 900,000, you think, wow, 好像很大嘞，这笔钱. But after we work out the sums, we break down the installments, we even put aside some cushion funds and all, right? Actually, we are very soluble. We're very soluble. So we took it. Having a car and a condo that time, age 30, to me is the biggest present that I received in real estate. Okay. In fact, if you know me, right, when I got married in 2005, my husband said, let's buy a 5-room flat. I was still telling him, you're crazy. Okay. I've stayed in those 3-room flat with my grandparents in Telok Blangah. I've stayed in one room, or can you call that a studio, okay, rented from the government. Okay, I've stayed in that before. Okay, because we were homeless, so we rented from the government in Telok Blangah as well. We were chased out of the Telok Blangah house, so we went to the one room, the 1-room house to stay for some time. And there are days so poor that we don't have money to eat. We were surviving on bread and water with no rice. Usually we have porridge, but that time not even porridge, Even buying the bread, we have to calculate how much is that loaf of bread, 70 cents, that kind of thing. Should we have kaya or butter? Because butter is cheaper and kaya is 120, that kind of thing. So imagine that to me is like from where I began and until where we bought that very cheap 5-room flat at 187,000. And to share with you is that when we first moved into that 5-room flat, a lot of friends help us. How they help us, my husband's friends, they keep coming to our house to play mahjong with us. I don't know, is it they purposely lose to us or what? But they keep losing. They keep losing at the mahjong table. And because of that, we were able to slowly buy our appliance in one by one. Okay? And then when we moved in, right, it was so hard for us, me and my husband that time, because when we bought our first HDB, we only have 20,000 each in our CPF account to service that house. When we bought that HDB, our CPF was totally wiped out. When we moved in for the first 1 to 2 months, we don't even have money to buy, because we were buying so many household items, right? We found our bank account zero, right? We don't even have money to buy washing powder, and I have to keep very quiet because I don't want him to feel bad, because we were so down and out already. And then he asked me, where's the washing powder? I have to tell him that, 没有洗衣粉，下个月买咯，不要洗先咯，等到我们的工钱进来才去买。And at one point, he was telling me, 没有罐头怎么办? There's no canned food at home. Then I said, no canned food, I can also survive. We just have to 冻居 over this 1 month until the pay comes in. And I'm right. After 1 month, the pay comes in, right? Okay. And then everything was smooth again. Okay. The finances roll in because we continue to work and we continue to do well lah, huh? So continue. So 就越来越 okay. But 也是真的 thankful for the friends who keep losing. So the funny thing was on the, don't know how many times they came for the mahjong. They are very cute. They come in and they say, oh, 你的冰箱是我的嘞，因为是我 contribute at the mahjong table. Yeah, so those were the really 辛苦呢，但是又觉得是蛮 blessed 的一个 period of time. We have such friends, okay, who didn't mind losing to us at the mahjong table. And every time 他们来就自己带他们的水啊 coffee 啊，他们自己 Maggie mee even. And then I said, 我这里有 Maggie mee, 为什么你要带你的自己的 Maggie mee? 他就说，哦，因为我比较喜欢这个口味的 Maggie mee. Then they will buy more. So every time 他走又是留给我 that kind of thing. So 也是朋友的一些 blessings. So then, yeah. So from where we were until now where we are, at one point, we did think about owning the second property. But maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Okay, 2010 is really a bull run. So for most of the customers who bought at 2010, right, 至今有些还没有办法 break even。Hi David，还没有办法 break even。In fact，那个时候我们还想说要跟哥哥，就是我老公的哥哥，一起联名再买第二间屋子 at Park Residence in Kovan. Lucky we didn't because we really want to max ourselves out that way. But lucky we didn't because later on the cooling measures come in and blah and blah. So things was really coming down. So market has its ups and downs. So now I want to share with you something. I'm not sure if you can see. Let me check. So why, like I mentioned, some small pictures, like I mentioned that we were really down and out, right? So this, just give me a moment. Let me check. Okay, yeah. So this was the broken family that I came from. Okay, the broken family that I came from. My mom, my dad, there's 4 of us. I'm the eldest. When they divorced, I was like 21. When they waited out the MOP of the HDB to sell, to get rid of the matrimonial home, I was 26. That year that I joined real estate. For me, I went through the process that we were chased out of the Telok Blangah house. After my dad like fully paid for the house, my grandmother chased us out. We were homeless. We went to stay in a rented flat from Telok Blangah. Okay. And we went through the process of having no food on the table. We went through the process of my parents happily got their HDB flat from the government. Okay, they purchased a Yishun 4-room flat at 60,000 those days on the 10th floor, corridor unit. And then when many people were selling their property, my mom and dad made a decision to sell and upgrade to Sembawang 5-room. We went through the process of being very happy, moving to a 5-room flat with our parents. And who knows that because of finances didn't work out properly, right? They will sink into this financial hardship and distrust. And then eventually our family was broken. The youngest boy in our family was 16 years younger than me. That's my youngest brother. Okay, to date, he's also a police officer. When my parents divorced, I think my youngest brother was only primary 1, if I'm not wrong. And when my parents sold off their property, my youngest brother was only like in primary school, primary school. So we went through all that phases of, having stayed in a broken family where parents are no longer on talking terms with each other. We are facing difficulty to pay off the utilities. We're facing difficulties. That house was actually sold. I sold off for my parents. It was a negative sale. Okay. And if it had not been for my dad's CPF refund, they would not have any cash at all. Okay. We all went through the period of homeless or nearly homeless as well. And until things got better when I had my house in Pongo, right? And thanks to real estate, made me got to know my customer, who gave me a very good Midas touch. And also thanks to Donna Yu and my mentor Victor, that you could invest in your own house. You could like make money out of your own asset, and then you could have a better lifestyle. Okay, better life and better lifestyle for yourself and your family members. And things don't have to always end up in a divorce like my parents. And so this is my motivation for the past 10 over years. Why so hung up on real estate? Why some people come into real estate then they left? I'm not sure why. But there's something very close to my heart for real estate, is that if we have done sound financial planning, if we know what are the priorities as a family, and we know that we are very clear that we want to accumulate our wealth, be it for retirement or for children's university funds, we can actually make it happen. Okay, we actually can make things happen. And for our family, it has happened. Okay, for the past 10 over years after we upgraded, at first we thought like, oh wow, 900 over thousand price tag for the property, 700 over thousand of loan. Can we even make it, or is it like going to be many years of no travel? But we still made it, we still managed to travel up to 10 countries over the years with our children even. Okay, and we managed to have really better lifestyle, and we were even blessed to have very good neighbors. Okay, so things really happen for us, and things really happen because I'm in real estate, that I know, oh, there's a very good deal in Quartz that time. Oh, I'm able to sell my house at this very good price. I can. Okay, we are very clear of all the finances and the numbers that was before us, and we made the right financial choices. Okay, so but if you ask me, would I if I had a chance, would I buy a brand new one as compared to Quartz? There is a little bit of regret. It's because if I had another place to stay in the Rim, I would have bought Jewel or other new places, which I would have earned more and faster. Okay, because if you buy firsthand from the developers, what I saw from most of my customers, they earn faster. We're talking about 6 figures. Okay, 6 figures quantum capital gain. Okay, quantum, and it's really into pocket. Okay, but because we don't have any alternative place to stay, so we decided to buy a resale, and Quartz is some place that we really like after comparing quite a few condominiums around that time. So being near to MRT and all. So for us, from a 5-room flat in Punggol, okay, that we need to take like 3 LRT stops away from the MRT, that is not that close. We can't really exactly walk to the MRT, right? But now our house, this condo is only 3 minutes walk to the Buangkok MRT. It's no longer at Punggol, but it's at Buangkok. We upgraded in terms of the location, in terms of level, in terms of the type of house. Because previously we were staying in a HDB, so we upgrade from HDB to a condo. And then from a 2nd floor, we upgraded to a 5th floor. And then from far from MRT, now we are only 3 minutes walk to the MRT. And now when the Sengkang Grand is up, there will be shopping mall and everything. So it's going to be even more convenient, right? And bus interchange. So I would say everything has upgraded, and we made that right choice when I was just 30 years old. If you ask me, would I want to roll again? Yes, I would want to. If I had opportunity, if I see that it's a good price for me to let go, I will let go of this house. I would want to roll at least 1 or 2 times more. Okay, because I want to make use of this vehicle, which is the house, my asset, to roll out the funds for our retirement as well as our children's university funding in time to come, right? And I know that it can happen, okay, because I've seen my customers do it, and I've done it for them, and why not do it for me and other customers going forward, right? So if you're thinking, how is it possible? I can tell you it is possible because I've done it already. It is possible. And we are not like in hardship or whatever, you know what I mean? Okay, we still manage to enjoy our life, which we never thought we will, but we did. Okay, but of course I don't own a dog. I don't have a dog. I have a car. Okay, so why so hung up on real estate? It's because it gave me all the opportunities in life which I thought I never had. This is a career, it's not a job. But this is also my ticket to success. It's also my golden ticket to a better life. which now I am enjoying, okay, for the past 10 over years with my husband and children. And after I moved to this new house that time, I still gave birth to my second daughter. So you can imagine. Things have really worked out well for us through proper sound financial planning. Okay. So if you really are thinking, should I make the move? Should I not? Then maybe you can give me a call, or you can WhatsApp me, right? Or look for me in my link. Okay. So I don't see that, even though now, market may be quiet for us or whatever because of COVID, of lesser viewings or whatsoever, but the passion, I was telling my friend, is still strong because we got so much out of it. It's not just about buying, selling. It's not just about the commission or whatsoever, but the knowledge, the confidence, the self gratification from this career. I would say I'm very lucky to have come into this career. I thank my first manager who told me that 你知道吗？你这样拼，你进来你一定会赚到钱。I think she's very right， 真的是赚到钱，真的是看到钱，摸到钱，也生活有了改善，也不可能也不会后悔。Yeah, because I remember I worked so long in the bank. That time I already got married, but 就是没有孩子 so stressed. But for real estate, 我们真的要出国要 holiday， 我们的老板也不会说什么的。2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 3 months， 他也不会说什么，因为 we don't draw a salary. It's all based on our own motivation, our own hard work, our own efforts. So yeah, so 你要停你就停，没有人可以怪你，你要走你就走，你要动你就动，就是这样子。Okay, you have the freedom. And sometimes I feel real estate is also very, very interesting, ever changing. If 没有在 real estate, would I have co-authored a book? Would I have actually been inspired to become a speaker or podcaster or whatever? Would I? Maybe not. Right. Maybe I wouldn't want to be a co-author, even though when I was young, I really loved to write. I really love writing compositions and all. I got awards, but I would never thought like I want to be a co-author someday or be an author someday. I would not think that I want to be a speaker someday. I would not think that I want to be a trainer someday. 我不会。如果我还是在银行工作，我不会有这些想法，说我要 do something more. But 这样一路走来，我觉得我这样看 OK， 我还是蛮开心的。我蛮开心的。Like my children will say, Mommy, I like that you're a podcaster. I like what you're doing. You're doing YouTube. You're so cool. All this, or you're doing live on Facebook. You're doing TikTok. All this would not have happened if I didn't make a choice to come into this dynamic, ever-changing career. Yeah, so I call this a career. It's something that a business that you own, something that you call your own, you inject your own personality into it, and also you help your customers. You make friends with your customers, and your customers also stay there as your friends. Something very, very rewarding. Okay, so the best part is, of course, lives will change for the better. I've seen my customers downgrade successfully, cashing out 6 figures of cash happily to the bank, telling me, 谢谢你, now my children have money to go for university because my husband has been retrenched. I see customers after divorce 了又在结婚，我帮他卖掉他的屋子，他又在结婚 happily married with children. So it's a job, no, a career that we help people to progress on with their lives. So it's so rewarding to me. 所以辛苦，现在可能是辛苦的时候，是我们觉得的 crunch。哇啦，1年多了嘞，这个 COVID 几时还要走 哇啦，我们要怎样 有些 customer 要看又不能看，有些讲要看了又害怕看哇啦，怎样办？ 但是 we wouldn't want to give up this thing that totally changed my life over. Yeah. So 如果真的没有 real estate 啊 I think 可能现在的我不会这样开心哦，我不会这样开心哦。Yeah. Now I get to do a lot of things that I want. Yeah. So this is something 怎样说呢？就是让我觉得很开心的一个东西 to share with you. So if you catch any takeaways, feel free to drop your comments for me or reach out to me. Yeah. So thanks so much for your time today. Okay. And I will stop sharing now. Okay. And see you the next time. So I see you the next time. Bye bye.